Okay, this is going to be the video lesson for literal equations. It's the last lesson of Unit 2. Okay, so I like to put these two questions up on the board. I'm going to start with this. Okay, this question I want to solve for x. This question I want to solve for y. Okay, so with literal equations, as you can see, there are multiple variables. Okay, so the key thing is looking at what they're asking you to solve for. What that means is this is the attached. So all the rules that we have with attached, that's the one we're trying to solve for if they say solve for x. So on this one, we're making the y the attached, okay? So what you want to do, if you remember with the concept of attached, like even when we have something like this, okay? All right? We always move the variables first through addition or subtraction, opposite, and this is a problem we've done earlier, okay? All right, and then we would do something like this, okay? And then we would divide by 8. So the only time we actually divide, okay, is when we get all the way down to the end of the problem, okay? So when it says solve for x, I'm going to make this the attached. So I am going to move this y by subtracting y, okay? Now, here's probably the thing that most people make mistakes with. As you can see, this has a 60, this has a y. I cannot combine these. So I can just write this as 60 minus 20y. I cannot combine those because this has a y. I can't combine that. So now I have the 4x. Okay, and just like I would normally do like a problem like this, now I would divide by 4. So here's what you have to do. You have to divide each term by that 4. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and erase this now. Okay. All right. So what I would have here is x equals, okay, then I would do 60 divided by 4, which is 15. And then I would do negative 20 divided by 4, and I get negative 5, and I got to make sure that I keep that y next to it, and this would be solving for x. Okay, let me show you the difference of solving for y. Okay, so now this is the attached. I'm going to move this one. Okay, and since this would be a plus out here, subtract 4x, subtract 4x. Now, I bring down the 20y. I cannot combine those because that has a letter with it. Okay, so now I'm going to get rid of the 20. How am I going to do that? It's the attached. So I divide by 20. So y equals, okay, 60 divided by 20 is 3. Okay, negative 4 divided by 20 is negative 0.2x. Okay, if you want to do a fraction, you could put the fraction of negative 1/5. Okay, all right. So, all right, I would like you to try, all right, these. Okay, this one I would like you to solve for x, and this one I would like you to solve for y. So go ahead and pause your video, okay, and go ahead and do these two problems. Okay, unpause. So this is the attached on this one, so I would move this one by adding 24y. Okay, I'm not allowed to combine that, so 48 plus 24y, this would be 8x. Okay, now I can divide each part by 8. Okay, that'd be x equals, okay, 48 divided by 8 would be 6. 24 divided by 8, oops, would be 3. And I got to make sure I keep that y. So if you start with an x and y, you got to finish with an x and y. Okay? This one, I'm going to make this the attached. So I'm going to move this one first. That's a positive 10, so I would subtract 10x from both sides. So I got 2y equals, okay? I cannot combine those. That's 30 minus 10x. And now I'm just going to divide each part by 2. 30 divided by 2 would be 15. That would be a negative 10. Negative 10 divided by 2 would be negative 5x. Okay? That's the first set. All right. Okay, so this is problem 5. I'd like you to copy these down. Let's say 3xy equals 90z. And let's say 4xy equals 120z. Okay, we're going to solve for x. We are going to solve for y. Okay, go ahead and copy those two down. Okay. All right, so I'm solving for x. So this is the attached. So if you notice, both things are already attached to that. Well, then that's easy. Okay, I would divide the other parts away. So I would divide by 3y, and I would divide by 3y. So basically, this goes away, and this goes away. Okay? Now, once again, I cannot divide the letters, so the letters can stay the way they are. Z and y can stay that way. I can just do 90 divided by 3, and that would be 30. And that's how I would write the final answer, just like that. Okay? This one is solve for y, so this is the attached. So these two are still attached to that, so I would divide both parts by 4x. So it'd be y equals, I can leave the z here and the x there, okay? And then I do 120 divided by 4. I get 30 again. Okay? And so that's how you do those. So you could have two things attached, not just the number, but also the letter. Okay? I would like you to try. Okay, go ahead and try. We'll do 10 xz equals 70y. I would like you to solve for z. Okay, and then I would like you to do 5 xz equals 75y, and I would like you to solve for x. Okay, so go ahead and pause your video and go ahead and work on those two problems. Okay, and you can unpause. So this is the attached. So I got to get this away. They're all attached to that, so I'm going to divide both sides by 10x and 10x. So that'd be z. Okay, the y and the x can stay there. Okay, let's figure out what 70 divided by 10 is. That's going to be 7. So that would be my final answer there. All right, I'm going to solve for that. So this is the attached. So I'm going to divide by 5z. Okay, so x equals, the y and the z can stay there. Okay, 75 divided by 5 is 15. Okay, all right, moving on to the last types of problems. Okay, let's say c equals 4a minus b over 10. And let's say d equals 3a minus b over 4. This one I would like to solve for a, and this one I want to solve for b. Okay? All right? So, just like we had these kinds of fractions in when we solved equations, and what did we do? First thing we did was we cross multiply. So 10 times c would be 10c. Okay. Now that I've done that and gotten out of the way, this is the attached. Okay? So that is the attached. So that means I got to get this minus b away. So I add b and add b. Okay? Now, just like before, since this has a c and this has a b, I can't combine them. So that's going to be 10c plus b, and this is going to be the 4a. Okay? Now, to get rid of the 4, I got to divide by 4. We did this before. Okay? All right? So I got a 10. A 10 divided by 4 would be 2.5. So 2.5c plus, that is a 1 in front of b. So 1 divided by 4 was 0.25. B equals, that's just going to be A. And that would be my answer, okay? So for this one, I would want to solve for this by cross multiplying. 4 times d would be 4d, okay? And I got 3a minus b, okay? So what I'm saying is this is the attached, okay? So I gotta move this would be a plus there, so I have to subtract 3a, okay? So 4d minus 3a. I cannot combine those because they got letters, so I got negative b here. So let's think about this. What number is in front of b? That is a negative 1, so I would have to divide each term by a negative 1, okay? So I got 4 divided by negative 1, which is negative 4. I got negative 3 divided by, oh, and I got to put the letter d there, don't lose your variables. Then I got negative 3 divided by negative 1, which will be positive 3. And I keep the a equals b. Okay? All right? And so I'm going to give you guys 2 to do, and that's going to be the literal equations. Okay? So I'd like you guys to try. Okay, we'll have E equals 6a minus b over 12. Okay, we're going to solve for a, and then we'll do c equals 11a minus b over 7. Okay, and we're going to solve for b. Okay, so go ahead and pause your video. I think I misnumbered this. Hold on. Did I misnumber this? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, this should be 11. And this should be 12. Okay. Okay, go ahead and pause your video. And you can go ahead and work on that. Okay, go ahead and unpause. So here's how we handle these. We cross multiply that. 12 times e is 12e. 6a minus b. Okay, now I can handle this. This is the attached. So I want to move this part through addition. Okay, that's a 1b if you want to think of it that way. Okay, so that's 12e plus 1b equals 6a. I cannot combine those because they both have letters. To get rid of that 6, I divide both parts by 6. Okay, 12 divided by 6 would be 2. Okay, 1 divided by 6 would just be 1/6. You can use the fraction or you could use the decimal. It does not matter. 1/60. Okay, and that would be my answer. If you want to use the decimal, that would be okay as well. So whatever that was, 0.16. That's fine. Okay, solving for b. First thing I'm going to do is cross multiply that. 7 times c would be 7c. 11a minus b. Okay, now it says this is b, this is the attached, which that's a negative 1. So I got to get this away, so that's, and that would be a positive 11. So minus 11a, a minus 11a. Since they both have letters, I cannot combine them. Negative 1b, okay? To get rid of that negative 1, I'm dividing every term by negative 1, okay? 7 divided by negative 1 is negative 7, and negative 11 divided by negative 1 is positive 11. So negative 7c plus positive 11a equals b, okay? And that is going to be your lesson on literal equations.